and welcome back to Sizzy Reviews, and welcome to 2017. I know you haven't heard a lot from me on this channel lately because I've been focusing on my main channel, Sizzy Love, doing Vlogmas and everything, and it was very strenuous, you guys, like trying to edit every day and put a video up every single day for that channel, and for that I apologize for lagging this channel behind. But with that being said, let's get started. Today I am going to talk to you about a movie that came out that I thought was wickedly interesting and crazy, and I just want to share it with you guys. The name of the movie is called Nocturnal Animals. Now, there is going to be a spoiler alert, so if you have not seen the movie Nocturnal Animals, then you want to see it without spoiling it, then you should click away here. Okay, let's get started. Nocturnal Animals is about a relationship gone wrong due to, it's sort of like, I can't think of the name of that movie, but the aunt brought up the child and sheltered her and made her pick a suitor that was more like her, even though she was in love with a common boy that couldn't provide anything for her but love. Now, Nocturnal Animals is something like that. Her parents are very difficult and set forth of her being with someone that is going to make her more rich than she is now. And the oh my gosh, I just got so tongue-tied. Jake Gyllenhaal is the guy that she wants to be with, that she wants to marry and have a life with, but her parents are fully against it. Now, the sad thing of it all is he couldn't, in a book that he wrote about them, it goes back and forth different pieces, so if you're not paying attention 100%, you miss out on things. And after I'm finished this review, in the comment box below, if you feel the same way I feel or have anything new to add to this review, then let me know if I missed something or if you thought it was a different way. I love to hear your opinion on what you thought of the movie. Now, she thought that his writing career wasn't going anywhere and that it was basically just him going to be trying and then they would suffer because they would have nothing. And she ended up listening to her mother and marrying the guy that was successful and rich, which ended up turning out to be a scumbag like she knew he would. But in that note, Jake Gyllenhaal suffered the most. So he decided to write a book. It was violent and it was dark and it was kind of like sadistically evil. The book that he wrote about their relationship. And the reason being, I think, was because in his mind, the only reason that life would take a turn and take her away from him and they were so meant to be would have to be something destructive, angry, and evil. So in his mind, he betrayed the loving father of a daughter that was probably like 16, 17, and his wife, Amy Adams. And, you know, they were seemingly going down this road happy until things took a turn for the worse, just like it did in their actual real relationship. But in the book, it took a turn for the worse, unbelievable worse, you know, where they were killed and these crazy guys on the side of the road just took them and killed them and did all sorts of horrible things in his head. And then there was like a vigilante cop that supported his notion that they should all die and pay for what they did, but he wasn't strong enough to issue this punishment. So as she's reading this, she's realizing how hurt and how devastated he was by her leaving, because that would be the only reason why he would make something, a book so grim, so dark, and so deep to replace what really happened. After that, she started to put herself in the book, and like what would have happened if she would have stayed with him, and what type of life they would have had, and just years down the road, like if the child was 20 something years old in college, and she was living her life, and she was with Jake Gyllenhaal instead of her cheating husband, and it brought her to the realization of that she really, really hurt this man, and she really destroyed his life. But somehow years later, he picked himself back up, brought himself back to life, and he sent her the thank you. But it was sort of like a thank you with the finger. You know what I mean? Because he realized that this is what he could have had, and because she ended it so abruptly and had an abortion and killed their child, that she killed everything for him, herself, the child, the relationship, everything. So it was a devastating outcome. Nonetheless, she was cheating. She was just a horrible person to him, and she knew it. And towards the end of the movie, she wanted him back, but there was a part where she was sitting there waiting for him to come, and he never showed up. But on that note, I think he was there, and he was walking around, and he just wanted to see if she would come, to see, what type of effect he still had on her life. I don't like the way it ended, because there should have been a little bit more. Like, you should have seen him off in the corner just watching her drink her drinks, or something to that effect. I mean, it just ended with her sitting there. But all in all, it was a good movie, and it makes you think, the inner workings of a person's mind after something tragic happens to them, how they can twist things, and how they can make fantasy become reality and make it so real that if you interact with it, you become a part of that fantasy, and you bring it to reality as well. I mean, I think it was a very deep, heartfelt, angry movie inside of all of the regrets that she had, and all of the pain that he had, which he felt like he could have stopped it and he should have stopped it, but he let her go. And it was a lot of resentment and everything. But all in all, it was a good movie, and I think you should watch it just to see how it all unfolds. I hope I didn't spoil it too much for you guys. And with that being said, stay tuned. Don't forget to hit that like and that subscribe button for more reviews on everything. I am going to do so much more on this channel in 2017, and I hope you come along for the ride, and we just review everything together. Until next time, have a good night.